Hello and welcome everyone back again to another Gold Squadron Final Cast. I'm your co-host Ryan Moisture Farmer, and Dion, you be killing it.
Thanks, man. But you know what? We also have another person hanging out in commentary, and that is, I figured, if we have two of the four Gold Squadron hosts on the final table, I might as well just bring in the fourth person, the other part of the crew. Marcel, man, how you doing?
Good. Hey, I'm excited to see the bearded half of the group on the table. Now we know how to win our next ones, Dion. We just got to get a little crazy glue, a little red hair, and put it on our beards and red chins. Yeah. We're learning keys to success.
That's right. Keys to success. Number one, have a beard. All right. Check, everybody. All right.
Killing it. Man, that feels a little misogynistic, but
no, I mean, artificial beards count too.
You know what? If you got to go to the store and buy a costume Viking beard to win an X-wing, do anything. Now, Dion, I want to talk about these squads.
Go for it. Take it down. Break it down.
So on the left side of your screen, you got William Haigwood running Ollie's World Squad. You've seen it on stream several times. I've seen several comments already saying that, hey, I'm sick of seeing this on stream. Well, if we had more extended events, you'd be sick of it even more because it's one of the best squads in X-Wing. It is just incredible. It does it all. Whisper with passive sensors and Fifth Brother. This is a 2-hour finale, so we can kind of go in depth a little more on these ships. Whisper with passive sensors and Fifth Brother means that you can take that passive sensors, get a target lock, still have a focus modification that turns into crit. Offensive firepower just off the charts. Also allows for a reposition. Also allows for you to, if need be, get a calculate as well. So you could be, if you absolutely had to, you could take that evade, realize you don't need the lock and calculate, but usually she's just taking those locks and wrecking. Grand Inquisitor, just a really survivable, solid 52-point ship. If your opponent goes after it with 52 and manages to kill it, the amount of time that it takes to take down the Grand Inquisitor, it's not necessarily worth the 52 squad points of effort that you put into to take out. And of course, Darth Vader with fire control system and afterburners, that 3-force, initiative 6, afterburners giving you twice a game the ability to boost after you do reposition, allowing such tricks as doing a 3-bank over a gas cloud, then afterburnering and still getting all of those Vader actions. Just out of range there, Inquisitor on Ryan's squad, by the way. On the right side of the screen, we have Ryan Staniszewski with a resistance squad, one that Kalen Wong flew into the top 16 at Worlds, very similar rather. ZZ Tlo with crack shot and advanced optics, Greer Sunnel with heroic advanced optics, and Zari Bangle with heroic and advanced optics. Zari can bump, still get actions. Greer can always be rotating after a maneuver, as long as he's not stressed, which means the time on target is incredible. And ZZ can get that evade, take an evade or focus action, whatever she didn't take after she attacks or defends. One charge, obviously. So ZZ is very survivable, hard to kill, initiative 5. And then you've got Rose Tico with GA97. With this many ships on the board, Rose becomes tough to kill because as long as there are other friendly ships in the enemy's firing arc when she's attacked, she gets rerolls. And if there are friendly ships in her firing arc when she's attacking, she gets rerolls. And with GA97, you get to the real crux of the list, which is it's the resistance. We'll shout it later. Finn is delayed in deployment, and this is a real thick Finn. He's got heroic, advanced optics, and perceptive co-pilot, which means when he attacks, if he has 2 focuses, he can use his ability to strain and add an eyeball. If he rolls 2 blanks, he can add a blank with his ability and heroic it. If he rolls, a blank and an eyeball, he can advance optics with 1 focus to make it a hit, strain for a focus, and then convert to 2 more hits. What that means is Finn essentially is always rolling 3 hits. And on defense, he can be very survivable as well, at straining to add essentially add an evade.
All right, so now we have our choose your champion poll up on the screen. Go ahead. I want everybody to. We have over 400 people watching this final right now. If you think William's going to take it, go ahead, type 1 in the chat. If you think Ryan Staniszewski is going to take it, type 2. Now, Marcel, if you were voting right now, who are you voting for? And most importantly, why?
The funny part of that statement is if I keyed in my 1. I'm not allowed to vote. I can vote.
No, you can vote. You're
I keyed in my 1 for Willem just because I think it's a really close matchup, and the consistency of firepower from Ryan's squad and the number of arcs that they have makes it really hard for really hard for William to be able to evade everything. I mean, it's a lot of consistency, but I think overall moving last and having the ability to, especially Whisper, just come in there and really punish Finn and Rose, and then just try to leave the A-Wings for later. But it's a really close game. I just think the initiative and the repositioning from Williams' list is probably what's going to make the biggest difference.
All right, and what about you, Ryan?
So real fast, Whisper needs 2 shields, Dion.
That's not on me.
I know. And I think that Will has the superior beard, so that's what I would pick.
All right. I think that's the next thing we need to do is which beard do you prefer?
We gotta get some.
That'll be the next.
Beautiful. Something I want to say real quick is we're getting some comments. I don't think it did a good enough job breaking it down. Why the resistance is missing ship? Finn is in reserve. GA97 lets you put a ship in reserve for a certain amount of turns and then deploy it anywhere outside of range 3 of an enemy ship. And so you're looking at, we've now reached the point where Finn will be arriving, and you look at those big circular deployment zones here, and Finn is now being deployed. So it has to be within range 1 of the board edge too. So Finn can go into that top part of the board, and what you want to do with Finn, and people who've heard me commentating Ryan's squad earlier the past 2 days will know what I'm saying. Finn in this particular build doesn't like to turn around, because if he has to K-turn, he can't get those 2 focuses, which makes him very, very vulnerable defensively. So you need to put Finn in a position where basically he's just doing 1 speed maneuvers for the entire game. He does 1 straight line run in one, he just keeps going straight. Pretend he's a shark and he can't back up. He kind of is like Jaws. So you can hear the music. But the problem with this is in a 2-hour finale, which, by the way, I am not a fan of 2-hour final matches because it's unlike everything else you do in X-Wing.
Yep.
The Finn's going to have to figure out a vector where he maybe will have to turn around, which means he'll have to choose a point where he knows for sure he won't get shot at to perform a K-turn, so that the next round he can kind of get his second pass.
Agreed.
So you see where he's being deployed at the top there. I imagine he'll just go 1 straight, 1 straight, 1 straight, 1 straight, and eventually bank and take whatever shots he can get, because it's just 3 hits coming in and say, I dare you to evade all of these, Will.
That's right. Ideally, Finn creates a bit of a flank.
It's the resistance!
There it is. Ideally, he creates a bit of a flank and tries to maybe sandwich Vader, because I mean that's where it looks like we're going right now. You have the A-Wings and Finn going to be pressing together possibly against Vader. Vader, of course, does have those afterburners available in order to get into the offensive or defensive positions that Will wants to be in. Now, here's a question for you guys. Of course, most of the time Vader wants to try to use those afterburners offensively to get into spots to have shots when normally he wouldn't have. In this matchup, what do you think's going to happen? Are we going to see those afterburners offensive or defensive, just based on the matchup? What do you think, Marcel?
I think it's probably going to be defensive, and you use them offensively, defensively based on necessity. And since it seems like Ryan is pointing his guns at Vader, I think that's just going to be necessity. He's going to have to take it defensively. One of the things I like about it is the combination with the gas clouds, like Ryan was saying earlier. You can just shoot through it, and then just use that to trigger the focus, the force, target lock, and that gives you a lot of flexibility. Debris is great against that. So that limits the what you can do with afterburners. You can still use the boost because you can boost while stressed, but you're not going to get the extra actions. But I think just the way that the board is set up right now, if he'll most likely be forced to use it defensively probably pretty soon, at least the first one.
Yeah, and something that I'll mention too is you look at the approach on the bottom of Staniszewski. He's done a really great job all tournament of kind of doing what I call a flexible formation, right? Where the A-wings are kind of close to one another, but they're able to kind of ebb and flow into whatever Ryan needs them to do. If they need to jet out and go fast, they can zip away. If they need to move in these tight areas and cover one another, they're able to. And that's because of the 45-degree angles that he keeps keeping them at. If you notice on his deployment, he'll deploy a couple of them at 45. He's just able to keep clear paths for them to move. And remember, these guys are at different initiatives, right? Zari's at 3, Greer's at 4, and ZZ's at 5. So he does have to keep that in mind so that as he's doing all these planning phases, that the only flexibility in the order of which he moves is Zari and Rose, because they're both at 3. Something that I will mention here that I hope Ryan, I haven't talked to Ryan, but both of his pods do have the jam action. It matters a little less in this matchup because all of these guys have force, right? But it could really actually matter against Whisper, right?
Yep.
Because if you jam Whisper, she'll lose the evade, or she might have to, if she doesn't have any token, maybe lose the lock from passive or something. So it's really, Rose can be a huge resource in that regard, getting close to these guys, and especially Whisper, and jamming off her incredibly valuable tokens.
Absolutely. I mean, you can double jam people. You can jam a jammed person. You end up with 2 jam tokens. So you could potentially
I don't think I'd ever be jamming with Finn unless I knew that one, I couldn't get a shot, and 2, I could do a blue next turn to clear because it is a red action to do that. Right. But I see what you're saying, Dion. Like if push came to shove, you could do it. But Rose is the one that, because of her rerolls, you could jam and still have some defensive modification there.
Absolutely. Looking at the approach right now, like you said, Finn is going nice and slow. We have Ryan currently behind the gas cloud. He has the flexibility. Again, those A-wings can hard turn in either direction that he wants to go. Now, I anticipate Ryan using a lot of that back arc because you're able to make sure you get shots without getting into range 1. You don't have to be worried about Vader getting in your face. Which I feel like what's blue? Blue is ZZ. ZZ right now is basically set up to just kind of turn around. But at the same time, William's doing a little bit of a pincer himself. He's coming in from both sides. We know that Will can be very aggressive. And right off the bat, he's hiding behind this gas cloud, even though he doesn't have any shots coming in. But he's in a position where Whisper is protected, and he's taking shots without taking any back. Of course, here's Vader banking in, and he'll choose his target, probably also going after Rose, just trying to delete something early, which would, of course, put Will in the lead very early. We'll see what happens there.
You'll notice that Finn did a 3 forward there, I think. That's important because ideally Ryan does want to have Finn shooting. Like if you execute this maneuver right, the first round of combat occurs when Finn has a shot behind everyone and everyone else has a shot in front. It gets a little harder. It gets harder to do that once your opponent knows what's going on. And it also means sometimes you have to move Finn a little bit faster than you want. Finn may not have a shot this round, but next turn, expect him to do a 1 forward and take on the Inquisitor or anything that's in front of him. And chat wondering why Zari Bangle gets a focus. She is allowed to take actions even if she bumps. So she
that
bumps
is her
Rose,
ability.
That's fine. And keep in mind, next turn, Zari could go first for Ryan. He could do a 1 hard with Zari into Rose, leave her right there, kind of self-fortress a bit, and say, I'm good. Right here's fine. I'm staying here. This is Fort Zari.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm surprised William is not choosing to barrel roll on this one. He's going after Rose. That leaves him in a tight spot, being that close to that debris next turn, and kind of messes with his exit a little bit as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that too, Marcel.
Yeah, I would be thinking like a barrel roll to the right to get more distance on some of the shots defensively, and have a easier. Oh, there you go.
There it is.
So
yeah, we're just thinking about it, but yeah, that's absolutely right, Marcel. You want to keep your escape avenues open. You want to be in a situation where Vader doesn't get trapped, and you also want to be in a situation where your opponent doesn't have an easy time knowing where you're.
All right, here we go. Vader
Though Finn will now have range on the Vader shot.
Vader
yeah, that's what I was thinking, to the right.
Hit crit. Has a focus result out there. Might choose to just leave it, and does.
Fire control.
Oh, fire control, yes. Hit crit coming into Rose. Rose will have some rerolls. She got 1 evade. And we'll be taking hit crit. The pod only has a single shield, so there's going to be half points right away, and the crit is under the hull.
Sure is.
Yeah, and that's where you're talking about the aggression, where you were thinking barrel rolling out so you don't get shot by Finn. He's thinking barrel roll in and delete a ship before he even gets to shoot. So
exactly,
it's a different way of playing.
Yeah, two mindsets there, right? We know Will is a really aggressive player. Like, he doesn't want this match to go for 2 hours.
Nope.
He doesn't want to play that game. Get in there, take out Rose early, and remove an ability to hurt Whisper too. Like, again, that jam isn't a legitimate thought, and with multiple shots, it can be dangerous for her.
2 hits going into Vader. Only 1 evade there for Vader. He's going to be taking 1.
Rough roll for Vader there. Sure.
All right, here comes the Grand Inquisitor. I'm guessing also going at Rose.
Should get 1 reroll. Rose should.
Hit, crit. Natty's there. Oh, there's a reroll. Takes another crit. Double damage would do it. Let's find out what the crit is. It is a fuel leak. That's a blank crit in this situation.
Yeah, Rose at 1 hull.
And it might be unobstructed from Whisper coming in.
Yeesh, big yeesh.
I think it is. Well, good thing for Ryan here is that Rose didn't get cleared in 2 shots, forcing Whisper to take the 3rd shot onto Rose as well.
And it is obstructed.
Oh man, that's big, huge.
If Rose lives here, that could be
That's
trouble.
a big win for Ryan.
All right, it's gonna have to spend the lock on 1. He's debating locking both. And there's a target lock. Not sure what the delay is. He's just going to re-roll 1. He was debating 1 or 2. Got a hit. Spends a force for another crit there. Hit, crit coming in.
3. Rose will also get 3 with a conversion. And a reroll.
And still has the 2 rerolls.
Yeah, she gets 2 rerolls and the conversion, so she can do this in however order.
I mean, you do both rerolls first because the focus only helps.
Do both rerolls first, absolutely.
Safe.
And then focus. She's safe. Yeah.
Rose lives after 3 Imperial Aces get quality shots.
And that's what Rose does with the rerolls. I mean, she's just super survivable. Like, people underestimate it. But the math is pretty rock solid. Now, obviously, the cloud helped there. Being at range 3 helped. I think if all those shots were at range 2 instead, she wouldn't be alive. But getting away with 1's big.
Here we go. Shots from Ryan now into Vader. Safe. And here comes Rose. Won't have any offensive rerolls here. This is just natty dice. Vader still has a focus, though, and whiffs there.
Yeah, she doesn't have heroic.
Finn is up, though. Initiative 2. The heavy hitter. I mean, we expect 3 hits. There's very few cases where we don't see that.
Yeah, very few.
And that's going to be 3 hits.
You just take the strain for the eyeball and then convert 3.
Dark Lord of the Sith, seeing if he's going to end up losing another shield. Possibly half points. It is range 3. 4 dice coming in.
Yep.
Yep, and there's another one.
I'll take 1 more. I mean, it's pretty likely when you roll 4 dice that you're going to roll at least 1 blank. And so that's the thing. When you've got Finn behind you, essentially hitting for 3 every single time, he is inevitable. He is inevitable, which is why in these games you want to try and take Finn out. So I would not be surprised to see Inquisitor and Whisper maybe turn in on Finn here. But if you do that, you expose yourself to the rest of Ryan's squad, which is why this approach by Will, this hyper aggressive approach, has kind of left him a little bit vulnerable to Finn here. You need to, if you attack Finn, you want him to be using his offensive firepower, those 2 focuses. You want him spending that defensively for protection to neuter his offense. If you just leave him, like if you don't let him do whatever he wants, he'll get that amazing offense. You say, if you attack Finn and say, well, I didn't do any damage on him, you're saving damage from yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. So just getting that trade there.
Yeah, because it's such a valuable resource. Every damage counts so much with these aces.
Now, before we go too far, we have to mention that this final is brought to you by Curled Paw Creatives. Use that coupon code SpaceJam2020. I will tell you, Curled Paw did a wonderful job helping us out with the prizes. If you guys haven't seen those templates and tokens that we're giving away as prizes, top 64 are getting Space Jam tokens, and the top, I think it's the top 8. Yes, top 8 is getting the templates. Super, super nice. We're actually going to be giving one set of those templates away to a legacy patron, and then there's another set that I'm going to keep for memory's sake. And yeah, so super excited about that. We're going to have more of these Space Jam events, so more opportunity to get those prizes, and going to be great.
Dion, I got to address something real quick.
Yeah.
People are saying Finn should be strained. When you roll with Finn a blank, a hit in an eyeball, right? You don't actually need, if you have your 2 focuses, strain for that other eyeball. If you have a hit and an eyeball, you can just use Finn's ability to add a blank. And with advanced optics on board, you're able to just spend 1 of those focus to change the blank to a hit. And then you can use your focus to change the eyeball to a hit for 3. You don't actually need to strain yourself. And you shouldn't be straining Finn unless you absolutely have to get that 3rd hit.
Thank you for clearing that up, Ryan. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's we were talking about earlier, right? There was a couple people debating whether optics was better than pattern analyzer, and that is one of the many situations where optics shows that it's better than pattern analyzer.
Yeah, and optics, you take advantage of optics every turn where pattern analyzer you probably do 2 K turns in a full match, maybe just one.
If that. And if you deploy Finn properly with GA97, you don't ever even need to, if you get the right setup on him. Now, like I said, in a 2-hour game, Finn's going to have to figure out after this first pass how he's going to turn around. If he wants to loop all the way, or if he does K-turn at some point, or do like because you definitely want Finn to have actions every single turn to get the double focus. Any turn where Finn gets blocked is bad news bears, which is why when you play against a swarm, right? If this is a mirror match or something with a lot of ships, it's one of the reasons Octor was able to take Finn out. Is that it's tough for Finn to, once he gets in the mix, to still get those double focuses and remain so survivable.
All right, Finn moving fast here, 3 forward, trying to catch Vader. Rose, nice and easy, 1 forward. Again, I think the plan here is to try to create a box for Vader, see if Finn can tag him for a couple more damage.
Would not be surprised to see from Greer at the bottom there. And there's that tactical bump with Zari. Fort Zari, in effect.
That's right.
I would not be surprised to see Greer be in a position to block Vader. You create a straight line so that Vader can't with a 4 or 5 escape. So he'd bump all the way back into the front of Rose.
Man, notice that... Am I seeing what I'm thinking I'm seeing? Greer did, not Greer, excuse me, Zari did keep that
arc in the back.
So anticipating the 4K from Vader.
Yeah. Not going for the block, letting Vader do his thing to escape if he chooses to.
Vader also has the option of turning out to the side, maybe doing something like a 3 bank to the left, and kind of taking the turn off if he needs to.
Yeah,
Did we get a jam? Did we get a jam?
It was a jam on Vader.
Jam! Yeah. Space Jam! Let's see.
He remembered, everyone.
Space Jam in the chat. Say it.
Rose did it. Rose did it. And she's probably going to die now. But she jammed. Which means that Vader can't, he's going to have to, if he focuses, he'll lose it, right? So that's an extra defensive token he won't have.
Well, he can take a target lock to...
That too. Yeah, he could lock and then lose that and then focus, right?
Yeah.
We had a jam in the Space Jam final.
Action from him in the future because he'll have to lock again at some point.
Yeah, and right here, barrel roll to the left or right, he'll be in somebody's shot. I think barrel roll to the left probably gets him a little bit further away from ZZ.
Still probably safe though.
So yeah, I'm thinking he'll probably try to do a barrel roll to the left and maybe stay there with 1 force.
Quick shout out to the 480 people watching. Share this with your X-Wing friends. Let's see if we can get this to 500. I want to let you know we're going to do 3 more of these events. We're going to do a European time zone one, an Australian time zone one, and another one in the US. And we're actually planning on following it up with another series of events so we can get even more people playing. We're going to make sure we have premier level X-Wing for everybody. Awesome prizes. And so just stay tuned here. Thanks for watching Gold Squadron Podcast. Here we go. Time for Pew Pews. So going into Whisper.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
He's got the evade, I believe.
Yeah.
Does he burn both shields here? He's got
No. You spend an evade.
You spend the evade and the force.
And you spend the evade and the force. It's fine.
Yeah, you've got a target lock coming with the...
Yeah, it's okay. You don't take that shield. Not in a 2-hour game. Now, I think I have to double check here. Fairly certain that I don't know if Finn has a shot on Whisper. Whisper might be. If he does, that's a real big.
It looks like he does.
If he does, those token expenditures there on Whisper, I mean, the Force and that evade are a pretty big deal. Obviously, the angle makes it a little deceptive. I'm over top right now. I think he does.
All right, here's range 1 from Whisper going into Rose. Does have one other shot coming in. Has the target lock, though.
Finn does have a shot on Whisper.
Got it. 2 shots coming in. Was able to get another one right there. That's going to leave her with 1 damage, but not enough. Rose off the table.
So Rose dead.
32-0 is our score.
But Finn gets to... but he's got to... If he has anything to say about it, he's going to try and lay some pain in a Whisper, which also means that if Whisper needs to spend this evade to prevent some damage, there's no cloak.
Yep.
And that's part of that's the result of, in this early game, if you can scare one of these aces away, he just scared Vader to run away, you can now focus on something else because all his guns are still consolidated and Finn is untouched.
But I don't know if you want to cloak here anyway. With I'm trying to see is he might be able to decloak to the left, but he might clip that gas.
That's fair.
So here's the Inquisitor going into Zari.
Ooh. All blanks.
All blanks. Zari wishes her arc was facing forward now. I'll tell you that.
Greer has a shot now on Vader. One
optics hit crit.
And safe.
Safe.
And here's Zari getting a shot to go onto Vader. 2 hits.
2. If you're someone that doesn't like bad offensive dice variants, give the Staniszewski squad a try. It's just consistent, man.
And
rolling the dice many times is just a formality.
All right, and there Finn does have arc.
Sure does.
Here we go.
Add the blank.
3 hits.
3 hits. So add the blank for the optics, spend the focus for the conversion, 3.
No strain there. Remember that.
So
natties.
He needed that.
Still takes 1.
Yeah, still take 1.
Yeah, he's happy with that.
Yeah, he is. He is really happy with that. My goodness.
Yeah, but I'm looking here. Do you guys think he has the ability to decloak if he does cloak here?
I don't think
he has the space to go to the right, but that's it.
Yeah,
I don't know if he wants it or not.
Right, if he wanted. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Does he have 3 base lengths? I think he does. But it's worth thinking about. It's definitely something to consider because I don't think he's got the.
And it might just be a disengagement where he stays cloaked.
No, totally.
Yeah, just cloak, decloak, and just.
So he took the token.
Turn left. Yeah, and just.
Because the cloaking is not the decloaking is not required. I don't know that a lot of times we think like, oh, Phantom's got to decloak every turn. No, it's optional.
But the other thing this does, if he does decloak to the right, that fits, which I think it does. It blocks Finn's bank or one's forward. So Finn, if he wants those 2 tokens, would have to go a little bit faster or accept the bump. And the bump isn't the worst thing. I don't think it would mean he'd be shot at, but it means that at least for 1 turn, will get a reprieve from the Jaws clause.
The Jaws clause, I like it.
But I think that Ryan could then kind of switch targets, focus on the Inquisitor for a turn. He's got he's got control of the game right now. the tempo. He's down a ship and he's down the points, but because of where Finn is, I think that Will needs to honestly, find some way to get around Finn, to get behind him. So it's even worth considering disengaging one of these ships completely and doing a wide wraparound and getting behind Finn. You have to. You can't let Finn just keep being behind your whole squad.
Agreed. Now, I had a couple other questions from people. I'm just kind of searching through the chat and answering here. First, people asked how could you play in the tournament? So we actually had registration open. This was about 2 weeks ago. Sold out in a day and a little bit. And for our upcoming European and Australian one, I'm going to be working with some of the Australian and European players that I know, some of the community leaders there, so that the people in those areas have an opportunity to sign up first, and then for the United States, we're gonna do that as well for the other one that we're gonna hold, and then we're gonna have another championship that is in the works right now. After our 4 Space Jams and our showdown, that will be a worldwide championship that's going to actually have a day 1A and a day 1B and a final. That way we can get more people playing, and should be tons of fun. So just stay tuned, guys. I don't have dates exactly yet. We needed to have a proof of concept first. Would this work as an event? The answer was yes. And yeah, should be a good time.
Rathos says hi, by the way. He just messaged me.
Oh, hi, buddy.
Hi, Steven.
Hey, Mike. I mean, yeah. Steven.
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike. Everyone call Rathos Mike now. Yet another Mike builder.
He's gonna...
You're going to be the next victim on his site. Watch out.
Oh,
yeah.
I hate Marcel. Wrecked. Yeah, the Inquisitor is fairly committed to moving forward here. The one bank actually did fit with Finn there, so I was wrong thinking it'd be blocked. Good move by Finn. Zari, Fort Zari, still going strong. She can be such a powerful piece if you know how to fly her. I talked with Kalen Wong a lot about this squad before Worlds. We were both theory crafting together with it. He flew it with all green squadrons with crack shot instead of heroic. He prefers the crack for the offensive output on them. Other than Zari, I think it was just Zari and a bunch of greens. I can't remember. I chose Tali because I liked the I-5. Now I would absolutely fly it the way Staniszewski's flying it, no question. Except I would consider cracks on Greer and Zari over heroic, but this is still, in my opinion, A tier resistance, maybe even S tier. I mean, it's hanging tight with the world championship, the world champion squad. It can contend with a lot of stuff. It's good, and we know how good this world squad is.
I'm very surprised that Zari did not focus rotate to the front, being that he was setting up that block for...
Yeah, I agree.
I think that was just probably forgot, or maybe he was expecting the Inquisitor to shoot past fast.
Yeah, are we sure that Zari didn't rotate?
Did not rotate.
Zari's in the back.
Has no stress and is...
Oh, interesting. I thought I saw a stress go out. I guess I'm wrong. But each one of these A-Wings provides different utility.
Oh, and that fit debris.
All right, Vader.
Yeah, the Inquisitor
has used the afterburners trying to get back into range, back into the fight. A couple other people had asked. They're having quality issues. Remember, Twitch defaults at 360p right now because of the amount of people watching, like online video. You have to actually manually set it. We're pushing 1080p right now, so it should be in HD for you guys. There's the Vader lock. It's going to be through the cloud, but a shot is a shot at this point.
Something I want to mention here is, yeah, Whisper got blocked, but Whisper loves this situation right now, right? She'll get one shot, and if she can push a damage through on ZZ, which is hard, no doubt about it, but you're behind Finn. The danger is
it's Greer.
You're out of that
He has
particular
more chance to do that.
Yeah, and also he's got a range 1 on the angle's at range 1 on Zari.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, then you take that. You take whatever the best shot you have to
Yeah, and it
deal
looks
that
like
damage.
you have 3 shots on Zari.
Mm-hmm.
From Vader will get a unobstructed there, range 1 and 2 range 1s.
Yeah, it's barely an arc. Oh, nice.
Yeah, 3 shots in Azari is big here. But Whisper or the Inquisitor is going to get punished by Finn. Inquisitor could really take a pounding here from a couple of these ships.
Did the Inquisitor not take an action? Oh, it took a target lock.
Yeah. So this is Vader 3 on Azari. Seems good to spend that focus on her. No damage. Now Zari feels a lot better because an unmodded shot from Whisper and just a 3-die shot from the Inquisitor.
Whisper still has the force.
That's true. That's true. Wow.
All right, so just one crit there?
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to spend any
Yeah,
force
spending
on
the
that.
Whisper focus would feel pretty bad. Wait, unless this is Inquisitor shot. Sorry.
This is the
Inquisitor,
quiz.
Yeah, he can spend
Yeah,
both,
sorry.
he
Yeah,
can spend both
Inquisitor.
force.
But Finn is looking straight at him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Finn is jumped onto the end of the boat and is chomping.
Oh, heroic.
Heroic. Oh, and it goes through. So that would have been a crit in, but the
just one
defensive play is the
shield.
right play. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a
So
long
heroic
game.
for nothing. Heroic pundit salivating.
So there's the range 1 and
This is Whisper, right? Oh, jeez.
All right, there you go.
1
all right, shield crit.
shield crit and Azari. This could be it. That's a direct.
No, structural.
Structural damage.
Structural. Okay. That's bad. But, I mean, she's not dead. If Ryan wants to stay in this game, he needs a good round of fire right here. And Whisper now gets the evade to be able to cloak
Yep.
next turn.
Or worst comes to worst, double evade if need be. Because you can spend both evades on separate dice if you need to.
Yeah, he's going after.
Greer is going to go
Inquisitor,
ahead
try to get-
and, yep.
Try to get that force spent.
And one hit on the Inquisitor, spend the focus, make it 2, because optics
with
are
the
good.
optics. Optics are good.
A blank out. Oh, that's half points.
And
Will
Finn is
says
saying, nom, nom, nom.
Will
Gimme.
jokingly does heroic. Takes his 2 shields. That hurts.
Chomping at the bit. All right.
This is Zari going into Vader, and Vader gets the evade.
Now Finn, here we go. So 3 dice. The math is a little, it's not as high 4 hits with Finn, but still really good.
You're guaranteeing 3, maybe a 4th.
Exactly.
Man, is Finn going to take out the Inquisitor here?
He's rolling 1 too few, or is he going to Vader?
I think he might be going to
Yeah, I
Vader.
think he might. I think he's. Oh, interesting.
The Inquisitor prevented the range 1 bonus.
Oh, okay.
Got
Oh.
it. Got it. Inquisitor. 3 hits coming in. Natties! Natties, baby!
Oh my god.
Oh,
The blank out in the 3 natties. My goodness. Get out of here, you shark. Oh my gosh.
oh, I could feel Ryan's heart dropping.
But
Preventing the range bonus and then rolling natties. My goodness.
man, the quiz that lived. Crazy.
In Liviter.
Nick, add it to the
Wow.
highlight reel.
Jeez. Game of positioning.
Excellent.
I think Will very much has the upper hand at this point, because Whisper's gonna be able to candy cane left, start, and you can really start working on Finn in this situation because Finn does not have a good avenue to turn around at this point. He's got to go a little faster here so that he doesn't get blocked and still gets 2 focuses, and Vader will either bump into Finn and say that's no problem or zip by him, and then Finn will have to then at some point 3K, and that's when you can really deal the damage. That's when he would be staggered if you were fighting a boss in a video game. Finn could also consider 3King right now this turn, which wouldn't be a bad option. It depends on how Ryan views it.
Yeah, Vader probably doesn't have any actions next turn either because he barrel rolled here aggressively to try to get some shots in. Ooh. Are we just... man. X-Wing is a game of positioning. The decloak here for Whisper is actually pretty interesting. Are we just going to see a candy cane? Because Whisper...
I just candy cane. Yeah.
But the other option, depending on what you think ZZ might be doing, I know it's hard to put damages on ZZ, but you could also see Whisper duck down and try to head to that southeast part of the board. More likely it's the candy cane, but yeah. Man, tonight, this weekend, we've had a great time. I want to thank everybody who's participated in Space Jam. Like, this really has been something awesome. And somebody in the chat, I think, was it Rocker Crocker? Chip. I'm going up. I don't remember who it was. Had suggested...
Crocker. Sorry,
had
go ahead.
suggested doing... So one of the things is GSP's not a partner on Twitch yet. That's just because of the way all this works. They had suggested doing a viewer drive. Basically, Twitch has come to us and say, you don't have an average of 75. And when we do the math and say, yes, we do. I know that we have a couple shows that are, pull less than others. Like, no, but you need 75 every time. It's like, well, that's not what your text says. And they're like, well, that's what we mean. So trying to see if we can, put up those numbers. We do have weekly content here. Mondays is our live podcast. We do have viewer interaction there. By the way, you guys can participate at any time. We also have Wednesday League Night where we play games live here. We have different themes sometimes, all kinds of stuff. And then Thursday, we have the Gold Squadron Paintcast with Luke Carrington, who paints all of our 99.9% of our prize support, all the ships you see that are painted. He does a wonderful job teaching people how to paint that stuff. Also going to be doing some tabletop simulator ship painting, which he actually finished the first one this last Thursday. He calls it the Black Flag. It's a Lambda with a really cool skull pirate on the side. It's awesome. So if you guys want to help us out with that, we're trying to get Twitch to do that. Let's show the Twitch that us board gamers matter too. It's not just all about the video games. All right.
They don't care about us.
Thanks. That's where you were about to. You're supposed to just take it,
Yeah, no, I got you. So, moving into the decloak for Whisper pretty soon here. I think, like I said before, decloak right, candy cane probably makes the most sense. And after having a couple seconds to think about it, I think I would 3K Finn right here. I think I would. That's your best opportunity to get him flipped back around before without taking sustained fire. He might have a long range shot from Whisper, but other than that, I think he'd be pretty safe.
Unless Vader did the one soft bank.
Yeah, that's true.
But then it would be just a 4-shot, no target lock or anything.
Exactly. So it would be only, in that case, just 3 dice because he wouldn't have the lock. Zari here could do some interesting blocking with Whisper 2. Zari could do like a just fly forward. If Whisper decides to decloak to the right, Zari could do a 3 bank bump, still focus behind her. Then you could do that might block that candy cane, right? And then you could do a 2 forward with Greer in the orange, a 2 forward boost. No, you can't because Greer moves before. No, Finn would be out of the way. So you could do a 2 forward boost to left, and ZZ's out of the fight for a second. It's going to take probably 2 rounds until she can be relevant again. And Vader's got to clear some stress anyway.
Yeah, I'm guessing Vader's probably going to shoot 3 forward and then give himself some options.
Also, now that I see the decloak, Candy Cane might not be the best option. You could very well see a 3 bank from Whisper here. Well, Finn, hard turning.
Yeah, I think you focus boost here.
And this is the longer path around for Finn. 2 hard here. Next turn, do another 2 hard. Turn after it. You do a circle instead of K turning. I'm a shark. I don't flip. And you just protect yourself from every possibility.
All right, I'm back. I was doing some background stuff. Thank you guys for holding down the fort. You guys are awesome.
Also, that Finn move means that if Vader does a 1-4, that's bad news.
They don't have a 1 forward. They have a 2.
They don't have a 1? I thought the Advance had a 1.
Advance has a 1 forward now.
Oh, they do now?
They do.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
So if Vader does a 1 forward here, uh-oh.
Well, I don't... he might be... yeah, I don't see the 1. I honestly think he's...
I don't think it'd be... Because it's a white...
3.
If it were... It's a white 1 forward, so
yeah.
He's got to clear that stress. It's probably...
It might just be a 3 forward. Thinking
Yeah,
like, all right, if everything gets cleared out, I have some afterburners options.
But here's the...
Greer coming in.
Yep.
Rotating the arc.
And then maybe the boost. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, focus, rotate.
I thought he would focus barrel to the left, but...
Misspoke there, guys. Sorry, afterburners are gone.
Yeah, there are none. ZZ totally fine there. Gonna take a round or 2 to get around. Probably gonna do a 3 hard next turn. Set up for a 3 hard boost.
I'm really surprised Greer didn't boost to the left, because if he was able to get that bump, he might not have a shot at him anymore. He might have had a strained range 1 shot.
He could also be preparing for a future move with Greer, thinking 1 turn ahead, right? Putting Greer there gives him a lot of real estate next turn, a lot of freedom. You also can't link to a barrel roll, Marcel. Mm-hmm. You have to... It's either a link...
No, it wasn't a barrel roll. He boosted straight forward instead of boosting left.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what I meant. To keep his...
And then, there is the bank from Whisper. Mm-hmm. And that move from ZZ allows him to be safe from that. Maybe less safe from the Inquisitor shot. but that's fine.
All right, so taking a focus there on the Inquisitor, boosting in. Inquisitor does have both those force available, so could use one of them to get that range 1 bonus and hope to do some damage into Zari, who currently has the evade.
If Finn's template doesn't go over that cloud, and I'm not sure if it would, I have to check the angle. A 3K next turn wouldn't be bad either, because he could follow up with a 3 forward and still get focuses.
And Vader there overlapping after performing the 3 bank.
Yeah, he just decided to keep the stress and
Yep.
shoot past.
So no shots for Vader.
Here we go. 3 hits from the quiz. Oh, that's going to actually do damage.
Sure is.
Taking half points right there onto ZZ Tlo.
Oh boy.
Whisper will have a downtown shot. Here comes the passive sensors target lock. But ZZ goes first. One of each. And there we go. Whispered hit crit there, but the evade is going to save him from dying unless this is a double damage onto ZZ, and it is a damage engine.
Oh no.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Oh, he's stressed. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. Hard twos are blue, and it becomes white.
Yeah, he can do the 2. The 2 becomes white, so he's not dead.
Yeah,
so the 2 becomes white. Well, that's bad. He's gonna be dead next turn, probably.
Now, Vader is the only one. I mean, he is gonna probably be dead. But one of the nice things is that his it's a choir. So as long as he's able to get a shot, he can still get a token for defense.
Here's Greer with one hit into Whisper. It's not gonna do anything. There is safe. Now, quick note about Z. Oh, let's finish these attacks first. Zari coming up now, probably shooting at the Inquisitor. Yep, there it is. This will be a range 3 shot. 2 on 4. Two hits.
And that's the real one second, I'll wait till after these dice rolls.
Yep. And with the focus, should have enough.
Yeah, no problem.
So what were you going to mention there, Ryan?
Yeah, so obviously I didn't do particularly well at Worlds, flying a very similar squad. And I came up against several of these types of like high agility ace squads, like Anakin, not Anakin, but a lot Republic, that sort of stuff, a few Empire squads. And the problem is if you can't lay that damage on in the early game, right? If you can't use Finn to the point where you erase a ship, right? Inquisitor's still alive, Vader's at 3. If you can't erase something early, suddenly, as the game begins to wear on, the strength of your numbers will dwindle because, you know, these aces will pick you apart given enough time. It's that old ace versus swarm adage, and another reason I don't like 2-hour finales, because with enough time, Whisper, Inquisitor, and Vader can play nice and slow and methodically and play defensively and eventually just work on taking these ships out. Finn is probably out of the fight relevantly for firepower for another 2 rounds here. We do have 60 minutes left, but Ryan's about to lose another ship in ZZ, and it's going to be tough with just 2 A-Wings and Finn to put in the necessary firepower in 60 minutes to win when he'll be down basically 75 points.
So we got 57 left. Right now, William is ahead. He's in the driver's seat. Now, what... sorry, I remember the other thing I wanted to say. I just remembered right now. I know that some newer players get concerned when you see a ship like ZZ is right now, where it's like right on the edge. You're thinking like, oh, the hard turn won't make it. So when you're at a 45-degree angle, all hard turns, like the template might extend over the edge of the map, but you basically will end up just slid over and turned 90 degrees. Okay, so just watch out for that. So you know that the too hard will fit, and with the damage engine that is on ZZ at the moment, that blue turn that is on the dial becomes a white hard 2. He could not perform the 1 or the 3 because damage engine makes those white 1 and 3 hard turns to red, and if you do a red maneuver while stressed, you are forced to do a 2 white forward, which of course would fly ZZ off the board. But the too hard that ZZ must perform to stay on the board is going to leave her not stressed and just right there for the Inquisitor to pick off without any actions.
Yeah, and I don't think Vader will be in any position to get shot, because that would be ZZ's only opportunity really to get to the token up for defense.
Mm-hmm.
And Whisper, I think, is just gonna leave ZZ to her fate. I don't think you chase here. I think you candy cane back in. You start focusing on these other ships. Let Inquisitor deal with ZZ. More than enough firepower to handle it. ZZ's gonna be still stressed after this move. You can't.
Go ahead.
You could bring both ships in to take her out. That's fine. But I think you have some bigger fish to fry. And here's the K turn from Finn.
Went over the cloud, no strain there. All right, there's a focus on Zari and boost using the gyroscopic stabilizers.
That's the free rotate.
All right, Greer coming in to try to give some support. There's the 2 turn.
Greer saying, I can rescue you, and ZZ being like, nope, can't.
No, thanks for trying, buddy.
Tell my mom I love her.
The Inquisitor could barrel roll focus here in order to get out of the shot, or to do with that, just take the evade and token up.
It's fine.
And there's the passive sensors. Vader clears the stress. Looks like if Finn does fire at Vader, most likely would be obstructed. It's really close, though. Takes the focus for defense. And just hangs out there. No, he's going to go ahead.
We should probably take a shot at Whisper anyway, not Inquisitor.
He does take the target lock there onto Greer for next turn, by the way.
And so he will get his focus or his evade here, but with 2 shots coming in, it's not.
ZZ takes 1, or shoots 1 at Vader.
Easy. So gets the evade. Also, defensively with 3 dice, evade versus a focus, very, very, very similar. I think evade is actually still a little bit better 3 dice by a hair.
Got 2.
Okay.
Spend the force. And 1 evade will not do it. Which means
Poor ZZ.
Which means that Whisper's gonna do that passive sensors, put the lock onto Greer, and take the shot there. Hey Nick, can you check the staff chat, please?
Me?
No, Nick.
Oh, I'm not staff.
You are? All right, Whisper taking that shot. Spend the target lock. Hit crit.
Spend the force, yep.
Yep, hit crit crit. Oh,
And
gotta spend the focus.
Gonna be taking 1 no matter what.
Yep.
First shield down on Greer.
And now this follow up on Whisper is negligible.
Yeah, I think you just take it on Grand Inquisitor and hope.
Yeah.
Triple blanks, and you can pop them with that, but unlikely.
That's the for sure the best play.
Yeah.
Hope for 3 for you and a triple blank from him. That variant. I mean, the math's bad, but you got to take it.
Yeah, he has 0 chance of, or about 0 chance of making damage on Whisper. He's doing it.
Evade token, doesn't matter.
Yes, 1 evade. All right, so we're looking towards 49 minutes left here. The thing Ryan still has going for him is Finn is still full health, fully operational. He probably will. Oh, we have a shot at Vader here. Oh man, when it rains, it pours. Rolling the blank eyeball at this point feels bad, especially if Vader only rolls 1 evade here.
And
oh my God.
1 evade.
Oh, he had an eyeball for force. I was gonna say that's the ultimate disrespect. Every time you roll like a blank eyeball and you just get the 1, the ace you're firing, not every time, but it feels like the ace you're firing at rolls 3 blanks and 1 evade.
2 focuses and nothing there.
So yeah, so
I want to bring up something. Somebody in the chat had asked, why do these ace matchups usually feel very one-sided? So in my experience, not all the time, but if the ace player gets an advantageous position, the whole point of the aces is that they have all these tools that keep them survivable and alive and able to pick off lists. When ace lists go down, they go down hard most of the time because a player has either left and one of the aces out to dry, which can happen very easily, or the opposing player finds a spot where the ace player just wasn't expecting them to jump in, and all of a sudden you've lost a really expensive piece. Now you're down to only 2 aces, and when you have only 2 instead of 3 in this type of setup, and there's a whole nother squad with 4 or 5 ships left, all of a sudden you don't have the same ability as the ace player to spread out the enemy list anymore, because now you have only 2 ships you need to converge on as opposed to 3, which a lot of times you have a third one that's on the flank or drawing fire onto something else. You have increased shots going into 2 of the aces instead of 1, instead of 3. All of a sudden you lose the second one, you're down to 1. Like, they go down really, really fast.
Yeah, and it's usually also it's specific moments in the game where it has a huge shift in the way that it's going. And in this game, I think it was Inquisitor just really coming out with only 2 shields down when he had a fin shot at range 1. He had already spent his tokens and his force. That at that moment with Inquisitor, just if both ships roll average, Inquisitor is dead. And it's a different game. It's a tighter game. It's still a matchup. It's still a close game, but it's moments like that makes it seem like it's really one-sided when it's really not. It's always either positioning on 1 or 2 turns that matter, or you're getting a shot or not, or moments like that where the variance just pulls one player ahead.
The other thing that I would mention too is just like, I know we've been talking about it, but I can't reiterate enough just these 2-hour finals, right? Like, if this had been only 75 minutes, we kind of rewind time a little bit, it was still really, really close. And if you look at Staniszewski's squad, he may have taken different risks or done different things to maybe pull ahead towards the end of that time. I mean, it didn't pan out that way. We had dice happen. Inquisitor's still alive, obviously. But if this were a 75-minute match, I think it could have gone a little bit differently. One of the strengths of Ollie's squad is just that it can has such good perseverance. Like, Whisper as a ship is still, this combination is as good as it gets, you know? Like, for 71 points, you're getting such incredible offensive firepower and defensive capability. And if you don't lose that, if Whisper survives to the end game, she's just incredible.
Agreed. It's just that massive amount of maneuverability. Like, you know, there's the joke, right? Like, X-Wing is a game of positioning, but really,
right,
like, the advantage that Whisper gives you is that you have so many options with that type of ship at a high initiative that, you know, if played correctly, it's really, really hard to find.
Well, one of the reasons I think Soontir Fel is so, in my opinion, quote unquote, fair is that he still, a lot of the times, is running on that 3 hull. And he is kind of one disaster roll away from 1 or 2 bad rolls away from being kind of irrelevant or something really bad happening to him. Yep. But if Whisper has a bad roll, she can survive a couple of those, you know, 1 or 2. Mm-hmm. Vader has a bad roll, he can survive a few of those. Like, there's forgiveness built into this squad.
All right, look, we got a little insight from Ollie, the world champion here. Hey, Ollie, if you're watching right now, you want to jump in the commentary chat? I'll go ahead and make it so that you can talk in here, and you can share that with everybody. So, because there's a bunch of people who aren't in the chat right now, or yeah, it's all the way on the bottom of the Discord.
Oof, that was rough. 3 hits and a crit.
Yeah. Oof.
And the crit is console. Oh, he took both crits?
Yeah.
Oh, because he had a shield gone already.
Yeah. Yeah. And something else I'll say about like, obviously I'm not dumping on the Imperial squad. It's a really good squad, and it, you know, it's been proven that it can be beaten, and the good squads can beat it. Something that Phantoms can do, and Star Vipers can do this, and other kinds of ships can do this, is you're not stalling per se, you're not intentionally fortressing, you're not doing that, but you can slow your pursuit in such a way that if something, if Ollie's in here in a minute, I'm sure he can talk about it. You can bluff and readjust where you're facing so easily. And say, okay, I'm gonna go here and pounce. Nah, I'll, decloak, twist, and not really shift much on the board until you find that opportunity to pounce. So this is Inquisitor into Finn, a heroic.
I don't. Does Finn have heroic?
Oh, he totally does.
Yep.
So he'll probably add a blank in heroic, I think. For 4 dice. Confused as to what's happening here, though.
Ollie, you should be able to jump in the room now.
He's trying to think if he wants to. Looks like he wants to add the.
Oh, add after
focus.
this. Yeah, add a focus after the roll instead of the blank here on the 4. So yeah, I think, man, he's gonna lose a rough roll for Finn. When it rains, it pours.
All right, Ollie, you are in the room now. Jump in whenever you're ready.
Hey, Ollie.
I popped in here to inform you of the concession, and they made it abundantly clear.